Hello and welcome back to Matt's Meal Making Monday. Today on this recipe, we're going to make a mac and cheese, but we're going to make the cheese sauce in the Pampered Chef cooking blender because it makes it easier so you don't have to stand there and stir it the whole time. But it takes like 45 minutes to make the sauce, so I'm getting the sauce going. The first thing you got to do is you got to take your milk and put 3 cups of milk, and the nice thing is it's already measured. You just go to the first line there and then fill it up with milk. Fill it up with milk, and then you're good to go. Then you can put the lid back on it and get it going, because you don't put the roux in it, and the roux goes in it when it gets to the add button, when it beeps at you and says add on here, and then you put, when it's completely done, you put the cheese in it. You can put your favorite cheese in there. I'm going to try this cheese because I'm going to do a white sauce. That way you guys can see the demonstration of the way it looks, because I call it Matt's Monster Mac and Cheese, because it turns green, because I'm also putting Enrichables in it. So you have your kaolin fiber from your Enrichables and your pea protein in there. And if you want to, you can also put the vegetable pack in there. But I usually just like to do these two. So you get your pea protein and your kaolin fiber. And this is the way you get your kids to eat it, because you make something like this and then your kids love to eat it. So we're going to get this going, and we put it on sauce mode and get the milk going. So blend everything in nice. That's going to take like 45 minutes. Actually, I'm going to cancel it because it's too noisy. But you put it on sauce mode and you get it ready to go. But I'm not going to do it until I get everything else done, because you probably won't be able to hear me. What I do now is I usually take half a cup of flour for the roux, but I like to put it half that, because I like to then take this pea protein and put 2 servings of pea protein in it with your little handy dandy scooper if you can get your hand in there. It gets near the bottom, it gets a little trickier. Sometimes I just like to guess a little bit maybe. Put your pea protein in there, about 2 servings of pea protein, which is 2 scoops. Set that aside, get your kaolin fiber. That way your kids get their nutrition that they need. There you go, 2 servings of that. Set that aside, and when your add button comes on, then you add the roux, and because it gets to about 210 degrees, and when it gets to about 250, I like to go in there and turn on the boiling water, and then add your favorite noodles, whatever kind of noodles. If you want to use elbow noodles, you can, but if you don't want to use elbow noodles, you can use something fun or something healthy, like I like to use whole grain noodles. And so that's what I'm going to use today. And now we're going to take our Pampered Chef knife, and this is what I do. I get the sauce going, and then I prep this. Cut this open without cutting your fingers. Don't cut your fingers. Then you got to throw it away, and you get yourself fixed up and not add that, and you're just wasting some food. That's why a cutting board is handy too. You're going to use the whole thing, so just cut it open and get the whole thing open. Pull the whole thing out, put your knife down. Pull the whole cheese block out, like this. And that's what I like to do. Cube it. I like to cut it down the middle. Very slowly and carefully. Zoop. And then I like to cut it in squares about same length as the width. So when I cut it in half, it gets to that. So I like to cut them the width-wise, I like to come the lengthwise as it is width. So it's a perfect cube. Perfect cube square. That way, it gets in there and blends better after the sauce gets nice and hot. About 210 degrees. And then that's all there is to it. And I will put a picture in the description of what it looks like, because it'll look green. It'll look extra green. Usually you don't notice it being extra green because of the fact that usually you use like Velveeta cheese or like sharp cheddar cheese, and that makes it a darker yellow, so the yellow blends in and you don't see the 2 servings of kaolin fiber and the 2 servings of pea protein make it turn green. But when you do a white sauce, it turns pretty green. So that's why I'm doing a white sauce today. So when I post this, when this comes up, you will see that it turns green. Therefore, that's why I call it Matt's Monster Mac and Cheese, because it looks green, like a green monster. This has been Matt's Meal Making Monday. Thanks for tuning in. Until next week, have a good week and have fun making interesting meals for you and your family. Thank you. Goodbye.